lot of very, very important things in the last class. I mean, I remember, I don't know how much devotees were able to remember. We discussed from Shuddha Bhakta Chintamani book by His Holiness Shivam Swami Maharaj. We discussed what you call as different aspects that Maharaj spoke. Especially, we spoke four kinds of people who don't approach Krishna, and four kinds of people who approach Krishna. I hope all of you remember, Prabhus.
Yes, bro.
Any points devotees remember from that? And I gave examples for four kinds of people who approach Krishna. I discussed, I showed the examples actually, and we also saw how or what is the way to get out of three modes of material nature. What is the only sure short way which will help us to come out of three modes of material nature? We discussed even that also in the same, what you call, when we are discussing, because in the last section what we read, it also came about three modes of material nature. It came about there, correct na? And among the four categories of people who approach Krishna, who is the best, and what are those 2 points which make that person as the best? So that also we discussed. Yes, devotees would like to share something. I mean, I just recapitulated what we discussed in the last class. Whatever devotees remember from last class can just share some points, bro. By the time I'll just open all my material, whatever there is. Devotees remember anything?
Prabhu, you said with regard to transcending the lower nature is by taking the instructions of a liberated soul.
Taking instructions of liberated soul. Yes, yes, that's very important. And what is the another way? Along with that, I also said one more thing.
Hear from them and serve them.
Hear from them and
Serve them. Serve.
serve them. If you remember, I had shared, in that OneNote document. If you remember, the only way to get out of three modes, who is completely trapped in the what you call lower modes of nature, the only way to come out is association of pure devotees and serving them, serving physically, and what you call through sound vibration. Both vapu and vani is very, very important to come out of three modes. So that's very, very important takeaway from the last class. Yes, any other points devotees remember? Any other points devotees remember from last class? Whatever, I shared the themes based on that. What are the four categories of people who don't surrender to Krishna? Four categories of people who surrender to Krishna. Anybody remembers?
Namam duskritina mudaha. Bhajante narada.
Yes, yes. Then in that, what are the four? What are the, tell the names of four, Prabhu, who don't surrender? What do you
Duskritina
mean by
muda.
how? What do you mean by dushkritina?
Mm,
See the English word present there in Bhagavad Gita book. What is given there? What is the meaning of narhadama?
Miscreant.
Miscreants.
Miscreants. Yes. Then
Muda, foolish.
foolish,
Then Naradhama, lowest of mankind.
lowest of mankind, and
Maya Aparita Jnana.
yeah. What is the English version of that?
Stolen by illusory energy.
The ones whose intelligence is taken away by illusion energy. So these are the four. What are the four categories of people who serve Krishna, who approach Krishna? What are the four categories as per Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter?
Artha, Artharthi, Jigyasu, Jnani.
Jnani. Yeah. What are the English versions of that, Prabhu?
Artha means one who is distressed.
Artha means one who
Artha,
is
distressed.
distressed. Yes. One who is distressed approach Krishna. Then
Artharthi, one who is desirous of wealth.
yeah, one who is desirous of wealth also will approach Krishna. Yes. Then
Jigyasu, one is curious.
Inquisitive.
one who is inquisitive. One
Inquisitive.
who is inquisitive. Yes. Then after that,
Jnani,
Jnani. Jnani means
seeker of knowledge.
one who's seeker of knowledge. So these are the four categories of people who approach Krishna. And example, anybody remembers the example for each category from the Shastras? Artho, Artharthi, Jignasu, Jnani. What are the examples for the 4 categories? If you have made the notes, hopefully you'll remember. At least, I mean, examples should be remembered, They're very important to categorically understand the technicalities of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Who is Artharthi? Who is Arthi? I mean, one who is in distressed state approach Krishna. Who is that person? In distressed
Gajendra.
state. Gajendra. Hai ki nahi? Who? Gajendra. He was in distress. He approached Lord Krishna. Then second category, desirous of wealth.
Dhruv Maharaj.
Who was
Dhruv
desirous of
Maharaj.
wealth?
Dhruv
Dhruva
Maharaj.
Maharaj. Yes. Third category, that is Artho Artharthi Jignasu. Inquisitive. Who is that?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Did I give the example of Parikshit Maharaj?
The fourth Maharaj.
Sanat Kumaras, the Chatush Kumaras, the 4 Kumaras. They were inquisitive to know how Lord looks like, what is, what are the characteristics of the Lord. They were inquisitive just to get to know how the Lord is. So because they were inquisitive, they went. And what is the last one? Jnani. Jnani.
Sukadeva Goswami.
We can call, yes, Sukadeva Goswami and Shaunakadi Rishis. Shaunakadi Rishis. Both of them. Both of them were, what you call, comes in the Jnani section. Correct, na? So these 4 categories are very, very important. Especially the examples are very, very important. So now what you call is, we are going to see in the present section from verse number 20, something very, very important. Just a minute, Prabhus. Sorry. Ronopro is leaving to home. His father's health is not good, so he has a flight. So he's leaving uh, early from Trichy to Kolkata. There. I'm alone now. Somebody wants to join me in Trichy can come. I'll also be coming back to Bangalore in another 1 or 2 days. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So what I was telling, yeah. So I'm going to read now is a very important thing. So now, after Krishna spoke, 4 kinds of people approach Krishna. He said, what you call Gnani is very, very dear to me, because what you call is, he's looking for understanding who Lord Krishna is. He's inquisitive. He knows his real situation, and he's complete in his knowledge as spirit soul. And now what you call is, in just meantime, when he approaches me, he'll get to know about me in complete. And when they gradually grow, they will come to the point of seeing me as the one and only source of everything in this material world, or it's a even the spiritual, where he concludes with the shloka, bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvam iti. Vasudeva sarvam iti, everything. Initially, when he is a jnani, he doesn't have that understanding that Vasudeva is Sarvam, because he is approaching Krishna to understand who is, just as example, Sukadeva Goswami, he was inquisitive. He did not, he was completely self-satisfied. He was completely self-illuminated. But what you call is, because he was in that state, as soon as he heard the verses about Lord Krishna, what happened? He became attracted. As Bhagavatam speaks, Atma Ramascha Munyo Nirghantapi Urukrame Kuruvanti Ahituki Bhakti Ittam bhuta guno harihi. So what you call is this Atma Ramascha Muniyo Nirgantapi Urukrame. They are completely cut off from the hard work of this material world. Nirgranti from this material world. Api Urukrame Kuruvanti Ahituki Bhakti. So as soon as they get to know about the activities of the Supreme Lord, the glories of the Supreme Lord, they become attracted. Kuruvanti, as soon as they get to know, they start rendering Kuruvanti ahituki bhakti ittam bhuta guno harihi. As soon as they hear the activities and guna, bhuta guna, ittam bhuta guno harihi. So after speaking, what you call the about the devotees who completely surrender to Krishna, Lord Krishna tells it's not just in this material world everyone approach only Krishna. There are people who also surrender to many other people, and they are demigods to fulfill their desires. So the people also surrender to devatas to fulfill their desires. They surrender to demigods, devatas, to fulfill their desires. And what is the nature of that surrender to the demigod worshippers? And what is the result that they attain by worshipping the devatas? And what you call is Krishna also will speak uh, about how a living entity has fallen into this illusion, and when a person can come out of all these categories of not approaching Krishna or approaching devatas, how can they come to bhakti and become determined in their worship to Lord Krishna? How can they become determined to worship Lord Krishna? Where that important shloka comes, which you would have heard of, if you know. So now our journey is going to go to reach to the point of Esham to Antagatam Papam Jananam Punya Karmanam Te Dvandva Moha Nirmukta Bhajante Mam Dridavrata. How many of you heard this shloka? Prabhupada quotes very often. How many of you heard this shloka? Eshantu Antagatam Papam. Oh, not many devotees know about this shloka. Bhajante Mam Dridavrata. This at least you should have heard. No, Bhajante Mam Dridavrata. One should be Dridavrata. You would have heard of this. Look, what about other devotees whose videos are off? I'm asking question mainly for them only, whose videos are off, whether they're listening or not. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Kushan Prabhu, are you there? Haribol. Vijay Vittal Prabhu, are you there? Bharat Prabhu, Pranam Prabhu, Aryan Prabhu, where are you? Aryan Prabhu is already on site.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I'm there.
Jai. Yes. So I just Pranam Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Pranam Prabhu is there? Yes. So this shloka is very, very important shloka, right? Eshantu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridavrata. So how do we become strong? How do we become determined in bhakti? Before that, we need to understand how it is important to come out of material attachments in the heart. People surrender to devatas only because of having material desires, material contamination in the heart, which makes them to take shelter of something else other than Lord Krishna. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. To become that Mahatma is very, very Durlabha. So if we have to reach to that point of becoming Mahatma, Dridhavrata, we need to understand how in this world people also take shelter of devatas, and we also should understand our stand or our way of what you call is looking at the devatas in this world. So the topic, I mean, mainly that we are going to discuss. So I'm going to share the PPT of Geetamrita Bindu Prabhus of Radhesham Prabhus. Very nicely, Prabhuji has made collection of all the references and all the things as such. So here we will see how there are people who serve their own senses. We see the people who serve devatas, and we see the people who serve our Supreme Lord Krishna. So just a minute, I'll open the PPTs, Prabhu. So this section, what we are going to discuss is called pure master, pure servant, impure master, impure servant. I think the topic itself is going to make us clear, right? Yeah. So this is pure master, pure servant. Impure master, impure servant. So first we will discuss about impure master, impure servant. That is worshipping devatas in this material world. So see here, others who have no knowledge, so they surrender to demigods, devatas, and they surrender to what you call those people who surrender to devatas, those who are impersonalist, who want to merge into Brahman. These are the two categories of people. What you call is who also dedicated their life other than Krishna. So from verse number 20 to 23, we will see surrendered to devatas. So those whose intelligence is illusion surrender but to demigods, getting their temporary rewards. They go to the planets of demigods, but Krishna's devotee go to his eternal planets. 24 to 25, we will see impersonal. Less intelligent men think that Krishna is impersonal and has only assumed his current form and personality. Krishna's Yogamaya covers these foolish and unintelligent men so that they can never know him. So these two shlokas, 24 and 25, also very, very important shlokas. Naham Prakash Sarvasva. So that verse comes here, Yogamaya. So it comes here on. Yeah, please repeat this verse, Prabhu. So I hope it's clear, Prabhu. The connecting from past section to this section, I hope the connection is very clear. I hope everyone understood. Ribol, are all devotees able to follow me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Are all devotees able to follow me, Prabhu? I hope it's not technical.
Yes, Prabhu.
Able to follow?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So please repeat this verse. See here, Vishnu Chakra Thakur and Baldev Vidyabhushan is mentioned. Can somebody read the above? It is understood from.
It's understood from
Please.
what you have said that Sakam Bhaktas, because they worship you, the Lord, who responds to them, become somewhat successful. But what happens to those who have material desires and worship the Devatas with the desire to remove their suffering or gain material pleasure?
4 verses answer this question. So when the question is asked by Arjuna, you said to me about the Sakama Bhaktas. So those 4 people, Artho, Artharthi, Jignasu, Gnani. So those 4 people in the initial level are considered as Sakama Bhaktas. I mean, the reference point for all of these people is who? I. Whether I will get, whether my distress will go away or not, whether I will get money or not, whether I am happily situated or not. So these 4 categories people are I reference. So that's why they're called as Sakama Bhaktas. So now those people, what you call, but since they are good, still they are good. Why? Because they are at least approaching whom? At least approaching whom? Even if they have I as
Krishna.
the central reference, still they're approaching whom? Krishna. They're approaching Krishna. So it is good because Krishna will purify them. Krishna will help them gradually. So now what happens to those who have material desires? So the verse comes here. Please repeat this verse first. All of you can unmute and recite this verse. Please repeat important verse. Kamastairtairita jnana
Kamaistaistarirritajnana
प्रपद्यन्ते अन्य देवता
प्रपद्यन्ते अन्यदेवताः
प्राकृत्या नियता स्वाया
tam tam niyamamaस्थाय.
Yeah, so here kamastete ritagnyana prapadyante anya devata. So these people have desires, material desires. The word that is used here is kames. Kames means they have material contamination in their heart, right? So desires, the word that is used is desire. Prapadyante anya devata. They surrender unto different devatas, demigods. So what happens? According to the desires that they have, according to the modes of worship that they are in, what happens is they approach. Sorry, I think you're not able to see the screen. I think. Yeah. So they approach corresponding. Tam means correspondingly they worship those particular devatas who can fulfill their desires. Right? So prakritya, according to their modes, niyata svaya, they worship those particular people. So see here in the photo, you're able to see here people who are desirous of getting a beautiful wife. Huh? Anybody knows whom they worship?
Lord Shiva and
If
Parvati.
anybody,
Uma.
Lord
if
Shiva.
anybody has to, if anybody needs to get a beautiful wife or husband, you know the shortcut method by worshipping whom you will get good wife or a beautiful looking wife or a husband. Anybody knows? Lord Shiva
Lord
and
Shiva. Parvati.
Parvati. हरी बोल जय हो तो आल्टर में थोड़ा सीक्रेटली जगह बना देने का थोड़ा शिव और पार्वती के लिए और हर रोज यू नो बिल्व पत्र एंड फ्लावर कुड बी offered to Lord Shiva and this one and you know what you call since we're all devotees. I mean, you're all devotees. What you call is added advantage is there that Krishna support also is there. Maybe we'll get the best of the best, right? So what you call as soon as people when they read scriptures and they get to know that if we worship Shiva and Parvati, we get a beautiful and you know good filled with all the divine qualities, you know, husband or wife, people start worshipping them. People start worshipping them. And what happens? They get deviated. They get deviated from the purpose for what scriptures are meant. You see in the second photo, person is showing his strength, he's showing his biceps. So whom is he worshipping? Above?
Suryadev.
Whom is he worshipping? Surya Devata. So if somebody worships Surya Devata, they become strong in health. And in the third photo, you are able to see a person having specs and holding a book, wanting to attain, understand, become scholarly in his studies. And who are they worship? Whom they worship? If they have to
Saraswati.
understand the Vedas and all, they worship Saraswati. And all of you know the example Chaitanya Charitamrita, how that Digvijay Pandit was worshipping Mother Saraswati, and but he got defeated from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya. So then Mother Saraswati came and said to him that he is my master, from you know whom I get all my vidya. So please surrender unto him. Correct? Na? So people having different desires, they worship different people. You know, people sometimes when they get sade sati, you know whom they worship?
Shani.
Shani Dev. Okay, so they worship Shani. And when people, you know, to see that in any uh, working of say their work, you know, in an industry or in exams, you know, they should not fail or things like that. Whom they worship before going to exam?
Lord Ganapati.
Students
Lord Ganapati.
visit which one? People go to Ganapati, Lord Ganesh. So what you call is, you know, we're not telling it is wrong to go to these people, but what we are going to learn in today's session is uh, in what understanding should we have to approach all these devatas, all this, in what consciousness we need to approach the devatas. Devatas want to give us something more better that should be understood. So see here, Prabhu, are you able to see some, you know, black rectangles on
Yes,
the
Prabhu.
screen?
Yes,
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 yes.
Prabhu.
yes,
Yes, bro.
I don't know how to get it out, you know, because If I even see folio, it just comes on the screen. I don't know how to. Is there any way anybody knows, Prabhu, to get out of get it out?
Share a full screen, Prabhuji.
Huh?
One option is to like share full screen. That may be.
I have shared full screen, Prabhu.
Okay.
I have shared full. Achha, you're telling me to share the screen only.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I don't think so. That's the option. There should be some other way in the sidewise. Focus mode, is it? Start focus mode. Any options of this will work out? Because I know there is a way for this there. Maybe TK. Somebody knows, can let me know, Prabhus. I don't know. Hide floating control meetings. No, this I need. Yeah. TK, no problem. Now see here. What happens to the, yes, first stop. What is that? Stop sharing and then start again. Can reshare screen. Okay. Escape V. Escape. It will come, Prabhus. I think it will be there. You cannot avoid this. Yeah. So see here, what you call the devatas, who worship. So how do their, the whole the cycle that follows is, see here, intelligence stolen by material desires, lust. So fruits are limited and temporary. So in the 7.20 and 24. So here, when Krishna is telling here, kamastete rita jnana. That word rita jnana. Rita jnana means they have less intelligence. The word rita jnana is very, very important. So we are going to see the qualities or the characteristics of worshippers. So they have less intelligence. They don't know what to ask, what not to ask for Lord Krishna, or I mean, to whomever they approach. They're asking for those things which are going to get perished, some or the other time. What is the use of asking something which is going to go away again? Better ask that thing which is going to remain permanently with us. Correct, na? So if a person is giving time, energy, his consciousness, asking for something which is going to again go away, what is the use? So that person's intelligence is called as ritagnana. Is called as intelligence stolen by material desires, because the fruits that are going to get are limited and temporary. Limited and temporary. Like for example, what you call is, sometimes, children, they don't know how much, like, sometimes they see on the roadside some items are, what you call being sold, which has got flies, nearby it's very, very dirty and it's completely unclean. Only benefit of approaching roadside shopkeepers, who sell the things, everything, exposed. What is the only problem is it's cheap. It is cheap, but the consequences is very, very heavy. Person has to get diseases when he eats it. But when you purchase the same product in a, what you call is completely covered shop, clean shop, you get the same item, but only thing is, it's bit costly, right? So person who has intelligence understands, if I eat something unclean, I'll get disease. So better let me eat a bit costly, but which will not cause me disease. Now it is a very easy business to approach devatas to fulfill the material desires, but it is a costly affair. Why? We are going to be seeing in the next 7.20. Basis of choice of worship, different modes of nature, people approach different devatas. Then because of lack of knowledge about Krishna, where Krishna is the source of everything, Krishna makes the faith study required by living an entity to worship. Actually, it's Krishna only who gives. Krishna bestows benefits through the devatas to the. So even though devatas are giving, but devatas are also getting from Lord Krishna. So when they lack this knowledge, which we are going to discuss in next, what happens? People are sent to the planets where these devatas stay. You know that verse, right? Yanti deva vrita devan pitranyanti pitruvratah bhutani yanti bhuteja mad yanti api yajino mam. So those who worship devatas, they go to the planets of the. So what is the problem going to the planet of devata? The problem is what? One will still remain in the material world, and this material world, we know what is the two qualities of this material world. What are the two qualities of the material world?
Dukhalayam
Dukhalayam
Ashashvatam.
Shatrasalam.
Dukhalayam and Ashashvata. We may go, but still it is Ashashvata. It will not quench the thirst that the Atma is looking for. Atma belongs, is a part and parcel of Krishna. How Krishna seeks unlimited happiness and gives unlimited happiness. Similarly, we being Jiva also are seeking unlimited satisfaction, unlimited happiness. Aham Brahmasmi, it is said. Or Raso Vaisaha. We are seeking for that unlimited exchange of mellows of love. So that could be gotten only through Lord Krishna, because He is our Father. He is our source. He is ours. Only He can quench that thirst. What these devatas give cannot quench the thirst of what actually we are looking for. So what happens when we approach devatas and go to the planets where devatas are staying? It will not quench our thirst at any cost. It still, that dissatisfaction will remain. And what happens? Dukkhalaya. We remain in the place of Dukkhalaya. So that's why what is the thing is, we need to approach the people, who can take us to the planet where Krishna stays, which is permanent. So see here, result of demigod worship are all perishable, whereas the result of devotional service unto Krishna is unlimited and eternal. So Prabhupada tells this very, very beautiful, in the morning walk. So uh, there were children who were playing on the roadside, in the kindergarten. So there were children in the kindergarten playing different games. So when all of them were playing, Prabhupada looked at those children who were playing the kindergarten, right? What do we call kindergarten? We call it as. So Prabhupada said, this is a place of kindergarten. So then after this, when Prabhupada saw this, Prabhupada took his cane and showed it towards the sky. He pointed towards the sky, and Prabhupada said, here it is kindergarten, and there it is adults garden. Prabhupada said that spiritual word is adults garden. So there also we may go, we may be grown up, but still we can play like children how they are playing. And if you know, in the kindergarten, there is this, in Kannada we call it as Jaru Bandi we call it as. I don't know in Hindi what do they call it as. Anybody knows what do they call it as in Hindi?
Jula.
You sit there above, you sit above,
Oh,
and zoing, you come or you go like this. What is it called as in Hindi?
Something like a Pislan Patti, bro.
How many of you played it?
I
I mean, that is a good question. I think that is a good question. How many of you played it? How many of you played this? You know, sitting above and coming down. You come down and again go back, again climb up, again sit there. Correct, correct. I know. So the difficulty that the people take to worship devatas is like climbing that backside ladder. There is a struggle involved. Coming down is very fast, but climbing up takes time, energy, to reach that top. Sometime in the water parks also, this is there. Coming down is so fast, correct na? But going up, like, Tirupati, going up is tough, coming down is very easy, bus is there. Correct na? So what you call is, people take all the struggle to climb up, but once their pious karma is over, then what happens? They come down. They come down very, very fast. Kshine punya martya loke vishanti. As soon as their pious karma is over, they will come down. So that's what Krishna is telling here, that the result of worshipping devatas is, lack of knowledge. So see here, the this is made, what the comparison made between devatas and worshipping the supreme lord. See here, what you call people whose intelligence is stolen by material resources often surrender to devatas. So what are the qualities? They are less intelligent. I request please take screenshot of this. You can go through it more clearly afterwards, Prabhus. So they have desires. They are afflicted by modes. They have different motivations in approaching the devatas. Or even say to they completely do not know how to approach the supreme goal of life, that is going back home, back to Godhead. Rather, they're just having short-term goals, then satisfied just by the rules and regulations of their worship, and they think devatas are better for certain purpose as their study of Veda, as per their study of Veda. So then they get into repeated cycle of birth. Whereas the devotees, they know that Krishna is the only master and all are servants, and he never approaches devatas for fulfilling his desires. Rather, we know in Bhagavatam, the shloka, even if devotees have material desires, still they will approach Krishna. Anybody knows the shloka?
Akama sarvakama va
Anybody knows the
moksha.
shloka? Yeah, akama sarvakamo
Sarvakama.
va moksha
Moksha
kama
kama udharati.
udaradihi
Tivrena bhakti yogena.
tivrena bhakti yogena
Yajanti purusha param.
yajeta purusha para. है ना? So see here, results of devotees with material desires. So a devotee who is completely freed from material contamination will surrender and engage in bhakti, whereas people, devotees, if they have material desires, still they should worship Krishna. And what is the result of this? Pure devotional service, and they'll go back home, back to Godhead. Yes, you see here how these devatas, are so sorry. This what you call people who worship devatas are so ghastly, especially in ignorance. People worship, devatas. All of you, I hope all of you know this pastime. What is the name of the demon here? What is the name of the demon? Name of the demon? Basmasura. है So he went to perform such a ghastly tapasya to please Lord Shiva. है कि नहीं? So this fellow was sitting and doing ahuti of his bodily parts for pleasing Lord Shiva. You know for what? What? To gain Parvati, to gain the hand of Himavati. He did this tapasya, and Lord Shiva could not tolerate, this fellow, why he is doing so much. So he approached and asked, "What do you want?" He said, "On whosever hand I keep my hand, they should become basma, ashes. They should become ashes." Are Shiva is telling, "Are why you are asking such a ghastly, desire? Why you want to make others into ashes? Ask for some better." No, 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 no. I want this one. So see here, this fellow is not thinking how to please Lord Shiva. Shiva is saying, "Why you are asking such a kind of desire?" He's telling, "No, no, no, no. I want this desire only." So who is the reference point here? Lord Shiva or Dasma himself? Who's the reference
He,
point?
he
He
himself.
himself. He himself. So this is the problem with worshipping, Devata. They keep themselves in center. They keep themselves in center. And he did not even bother afterwards, if you see. So he said, "Lord Shiva, what you call, I want your wife. So I want to make you only into Basma. Where are you? I'll catch you. Catch you." He's running behind to keep the hand. Then what happens? Lord Vishnu comes in disguise. So there are two versions. Lord Vishnu coming as small boy and Lord Vishnu coming as Mohini Murti. So Mohini Murti, he becomes attracted and tells, "Oh, Mohini Murti, I want to get married to you. I want to get married to you." So then Mohini Murti tells, "Oh, if you want to get married to me, you have to dance like me. So I will do Bharatanatyam. You also should do Bharatanatyam." So if both of us do, that same dancing steps, right? Usually we see, what you call in outside world, they dance like, same. So that culture started from here, where Mohini Murti is dancing and Basmasura also should dance, same like that. Huh? So even in parties nowadays,
विजय
people
प्रभु को बोल
dance,
देना
in same steps, same
पनीर का
steps. है
ग्रेवी
ना?
ज्यादा बना देना विजय प्रभु को बोल देना
So what you call is, if you do the same steps, then so they both were dancing. So whatever Mohini Murti was dancing, Basmasura also was putting the same steps. So when they both were dancing, suddenly Mohini Murti takes her hand and keeps on her head. One of the Bharatanatyam, step it is. So as soon as she keeps the hand on her head dancing, our what you call Bhasmasura also takes his hand and keeps on his own head. And then what happens? He gets completely burned into ashes like this. Hey, there is the video. I think sound is not coming. So he died like that. So see here, what is the result of surrendering to Devatas? Yeah, somebody read this, Prabhu. I think, yeah, we discussed this. See here, Sridhar Swami is telling they are deprived of discrimination by particular desires containing sons, fame, victory over enemies, etc. So they worship other minor deities like ghost spirits, and they sometimes people take shelter of tantrics also. है like because to get fulfilled, like nowadays, Prabhus, I don't know how many of you heard of, many time in the families, relatives and all, people become envious of the growth of other people. Heard of this? Got a good job, got a good husband, or going to America, or studying in big college, one of the reputed college. So people become envious, and what do? They do tantrics. They do tantrics. So here, to fulfill their desire to destroy the person, they take shelter of mode of ignorance. Mode of ignorance, and do all the time send upon the people to destroy them. One student here in IIM Trichy, there is one student, she met with an accident and she is on bed rest for 6 months. So when we were having one session with the students of IIM Trichy, she was telling that what you call, I got to know that somebody has done this to me so that we don't prosper, our family does not prosper. And she said, I'm just reading this Bhagavad Gita to find solution. How can I come out of this? How many of you heard such instances where people do such kind of things in the family things, or how many of you heard these things? Correct, no? So it's very, very, it has become very common now. Very, very common. Even to such an extent, I heard that the court case, whatever was going, some kind of tantrics was done like this to get the things fulfilled. I don't know how much is true or not, but whatever it is. Don't ask me question, Prabhu, where is Krishna in this? Don't ask me the question. Yeah, so that is the thing. We'll go a bit faster, Prabhu, now. So why people take shelter of devatas is mainly they have material contamination in their heart. Material contamination in the heart. So that's why what you call is these people, what you call is they have material contamination, and to fulfill that material contamination, they have to take shelter of lower modes, and that's why they're called as less intelligent. They have lost their spiritual sense, and they want immediate fulfillment of. See, if they approach Krishna, it will take time. They know that Krishna will first clean the heart and then he will give the result. So I want very fast. Ashutosh. Who is called as Ashutosh?
Lord Shiva.
Lord.
Shiva.
One who is easily
Ah,
pleased, Lord Shiva. So then-
you easily will get your desire fulfilled. So that's why they get misguided about how to reach the supreme goal. Yeah. So why they cannot know me? Why they don't know me? Because their impressions are such that it makes them opposed to surrendering to me. They have very strong material impressions in them. Their knowledge about my essential nature is robbed away by various karmas. Various karmas that they have done, their past life. They have the desire. How much you tell about Krishna, but still they will think about their material desires. So even if you see examples, in the scriptures, we have Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, all of these fellows, are approaching the devatas to fulfill their material desires, and they know that if they approach, Lord Krishna, they cannot get it fulfilled, because Lord knows. Like it's the example between mother and the shopkeeper. So if you approach mother for mitai, she will take time to give it, because she knows if my child eats cocoa chocolate and all, his teeth will get decayed. His teeth will be attacked by germs. But when he goes to shopkeeper, will shopkeeper ever ask the child, "Oh, beta, this is not good for you. Show me your teeth. Show me your teeth. Is your teeth good to eat this?" Do you think ever the shopkeeper will ask this question? No. But when you ask mother, mother will ask. So approaching Krishna is like approaching mother. Approaching Devata is like approaching shopkeeper who don't see how it can help you. Right? If you see, even Ravana, he approached Lord Shiva to become stronger, to attain powers. But when Lord Ram was killing him in the Lanka, that time Mother Parvati said, "Oh, Lord Shiva, your devotee is getting killed. Why don't you go and protect me?" Shiva said, "No. When my master is standing in front of him, that is Lord Ram, I don't have any, what you call his purpose. Rather, I will assist, Lord Ram to kill Ravana." So this knowledge, this devatas, sorry, this asuras, they don't know. So Prabhupada is telling in the purport, having desires is not wrong, but we should know whom to approach. So here in the verse, it is said we need to approach akama sarva moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta, worship Purusha Param, worship the Supreme Person, is Lord Krishna. So the devotee has right understanding that Krishna is the master of all the devatas. All the devatas. He knows that, the stomach is the central point of all the senses. He knows that the root is the central point of the whole tree. So next comes this verse. Please repeat this verse, Prabhu. So two verses describe how Krishna only rewards the faith to the demigod worshippers. Yo yo yam tanum bhakta shraddhayarchitamichati tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidhami aham. So here it is mentioned the faith in the heart of the devatas worship, the faith, the strength to worship the devatas in the heart of the worshipper is also given by Krishna only. The Shraddha for the Ravana to worship Lord Shiva is given by whom? Is given by whom? Lord Krishna only. Lord Krishna only. Why? Because he has the desire. He has the desire. He has very, very strong desire to fulfill his material desires. So that's why, what you call is he only sends him. So see here, uh, while Lord facilitates the living entities to enjoy and fall into the trap of illusion, two reasons, Prabhu. So what are the two reasons? If the super soul does not give such facility, there is no meaning to independence. When the son is adamant, right? So then father tells, okay, you take this, you cook on this stove and burn your hand. So that is the independence that the Lord Krishna gives. So that voluntarily he can develop the surrender to Lord Krishna. He will not force. No, you surrender unto me only. That becomes balatkar. That becomes nobody likes it. But when it comes naturally, what you call naturally a person develops love, surrender to the Supreme Lord, comes back to the Father, then he will be able to share or what you call is have that love between them. Next, along with facilities, he also gives though Krishna may give what you call that conviction or faith, but Krishna always gives instructions through the scriptures to the jivas. So we see here Krishna is telling, don't approach devatas to get your desires fulfilled. Surrender unto me, Krishna is telling. So this, no, Krishna has given. Though people may tell whether they why Krishna misguided me. No, Krishna is telling in the scripture to approach him. So take that instruction, approach Krishna. People are telling now automatically the question will come to all of us, why Krishna sent me like this to the devatas, though he has done that to give you independence, but he also has given the instruction through the scriptures and devotees. So he's telling in the scriptures what? Surrender unto me. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami masuchah. You know? Next. So it's telling in the next verse. So see here, akama sarva kamova, whatever desires are there, approach the Supreme Lord. Yeah. We'll go a bit fast. So here another concept that is spoken is, see, devatas. Who are devatas? Even devatas are also jivas only. They are not something special category. No, they are also part and parcel of Krishna. So they want some service, and Lord engages them in this service. For those who are not wanting to approach Krishna directly, and all the powers, even whom the devatas get to due to the jivas, to fulfill the desires of the jivas, even those powers also come from Lord Krishna only. And we all know in Bhagavad Gita, sorry, in Brahma Samhita, how Ganesha keeps his two tasks at the lotus feet of Narsinga Dev and recharge himself to remove the vignas from the life of the worshippers of the Ganapati. है ना? So living entity cannot worship the demigod by his own desire. Demigod cannot bestow any benediction without the will of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada tells, not a blade of grass moves without the sanction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Vedic literature, it is stated the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Super Soul is also present within the heart of the demigod. Therefore, he arranges through the devatas to fulfill the desire of the living entity. But both the demigod and the living entity are dependent on the supreme will. They are not independent. So this shows than worshipping somebody in between, better worship the Supreme Lord. You know? So why then still people approach devatas? Because very fast. It is fast and modes. So see here, what role does the super soul play? The super soul gives faith. The super soul is the one who gives faith to approach devata. Then next, the super soul inspires the jiva to approach the devata to get his desire fulfilled when he is adamant. When he is adamant to get the material thing, the super soul, gives him faith to approach. Then super soul gives affinity, that worshipping attitude, that prema towards the devata is also given by super soul. We see sometimes people are, very ardent worshippers of Durga, or very ardent worshippers of, Shiva, ardent worshippers of Shanidev. How much you tell them, they will not listen. How come they're getting so much of, strong affinity and faith? Super soul is giving inside their heart because they want that. They're desiring that. The demigods cannot infuse the living entities with such an. It's not the devata sitting in the heart making the person to worship that particular demigod. No, it is Krishna who is giving that affinity, that faith. Then super soul has great powers and desires benefit of all. So I alone being the super soul in all beings, having great powers and desiring the benefit of all creatures, produce their faith in various devatas. The devatas do not have the power to do this. So devatas are also forms of Lord's body. We all know, right? In Vishwaroop, Indra is the hand, Surya is the eye, Moon is the other eye, है Then Daksha, is the procreational part. Brahma, plays that particular role. Then what you call like this, different devatas, they have different parts of the body. So the demigods are actually different parts of the universal body of the supreme. Therefore, they have no independence. Next, sataya shraddaya yukta tasyardhanam ihate labate cha tata kaman mayeva vihitan hitan. So here in the verse number 22, Krishna is telling that it is Krishna through the devatas bestow the benediction upon their worshippers. It's actually the devatas who take help of Lord Vishnu, who because of their surrender to Lord Vishnu, they are able to fulfill the desires of the jivata. See, demigod worship is material. Therefore, devatas cannot give benedictions without the permission of the Supreme Lord. Living entities may forget that everything is the property of the Supreme Lord, but devatas do not forget. Anybody knows the example in scripture where the Supreme Lord scolded the Devata for fulfilling the material desire? Anybody knows the example? Where the Supreme Lord scolded? Yes, Prashant bro?
Lord Narsimdev means mildly tells Brahmaji ऐसे मत जो मतलब again
Correct na? Yeah. What happened there again?
means now
Brahmaji,
only is yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. I mean, there is some.
No, means that only Praji. Like he tells that after killing this Hiranyakashipu, don't give so many like this things for further they create much nonsense. Like that.
Yeah. So what you call is this Hiranyakashipu created so much of torrent in the whole creation. Correct, na? So who was the one who gave all those benedictions? Tatastu, tatastu, tatastu. Neither inside nor outside, neither in the air nor in the earth, living, non-living. All those benedictions. Who fulfilled? Brahmaji fulfilled. है ना? So Lord Narasimha, why you're giving such kind of benediction because of which the whole thing becomes top secret. Be careful. Lord Narasimha tells that to the Lord. So that's what you call is the Supreme Lord is the one who tells, and he the Devatas here Brahma we see does not have that independence to bestow desires as he wants. है ना? So uh, when we see the worship of the devotees, it is completely different from the Devatas worship. So see here the attitude of pure devotees. Nadhanam najanam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir ahaituki tvai. So this is the attitude of the pure devotees. And what is the reciprocation that the Lord does with the pure devotees? The Lord tells in 8th canto of Bhagavatam, Sadhavo Rudayam Mahyam Sadhunam Rudayam Tveham. What is the next line? Mat uh,
Madanyate na janante.
Mad Anyate na Jhananti Nayam. They don't know anyone apart from me. I don't know anyone apart from my pure devotees. My pure devotees also don't know anybody apart from me. I am there situated in their heart, and they are situated in my heart. All my powers come because of their worship towards me, and I protect them in all the situations. So this is the reciprocation and the attitude. Actually, this Ambarish section is so beautiful, so beautiful. It shows how much Krishna loves, how much Vishnu loves his devotees actually. So understanding that, we need to, worship. See here, we discussed all this. See here, does a pure devotee go to Devatas? Yes. The pure devotee also goes to Devatas. But for asking what? Asking the Devatas to mediate between them and Lord Krishna. He tells Devatas to please help to increase his love between the Lord and himself. So we see like Rukmini, praying to Lord Shiva in the prayers which she offers, Oh Lord Shiva, oh Parvati, if in any way I have worshipped, if I did not worship you properly because of which you are stopping Lord Krishna to reach late to this Vidarbha, please forgive and help me, to get married to Lord Krishna. He is praying. We also see the gopis approaching Katyayini to get married to Lord Krishna. We see, what you call is we see many examples in the scriptures where they approach the devatas asking, what you call is to actually once what happened, Prabhupada was going, on the morning walk. So Prabhupada was going with the morning walk. So when Prabhupada was going in the morning walk, suddenly, if I'm not wrong, Mother Durga's temple come on the way. Mother Durga. So when Mother Durga's temple come, you know what Prabhupada does? Prabhupada offers prayer. When he offers pranams. He offers pranams. So usually when we offer, say altar is this side, we offer like this, right? So Prabhupada offered pranams like this. Like in our temple, uh, uh, Prabhupada is there on the other side and this side. So we keep our left and offer to Prabhupada, then we turn and offer to. So when Prabhupada went to this temple, Prabhupada offered pranams, keeping the Durga Devi on the right. And all, disciples are shocked. Prabhupada, how come you're offering pranams, to demigod? We don't worship demigod. How come you're offering? Prabhupada tells, no. Prabhupada recites this verse from Brahma Samhita, right? I don't know how many of you know this verse. Ma Chayeva
Shrishti
yasya hi सृष्टि स्थिति
Pralaya Sadhana.
सृष्टि स्थिति प्रलय साधन शक्ति रेखा चायेव यस्य हि भुवनानि Durga. So that this Maya Devi, what you call is this whole earth belongs to her. She is also sister of Lord Vishnu. Chayeva yasya hi bhuvanani pibarati Durga. So Prabhupada tells, she's a Vaishnavi. She's a Vaishnavi, and we are all Vaishnavas. So we should pray to her to help us to become a better Vaishnava. Prabhupada tells like that. And he offers. Then devotees understand, oh, okay, it is like this. Yeah, actually, if you know, there are many devotees who came to Krishna consciousness because of worship of Devatas. To say, many of us before coming to Krishna consciousness were worshipping Devatas. Like, many of our devotees come to Krishna consciousness because they were worshipping Lord Shiva. Any examples here who were worshipping Lord Shiva before becoming devotees? Yes, anybody there
So
here?
I was earlier worshipping Lord Hanuman very much.
Bajrang Bali Hanuman ki jai. I think now Hanuman showed you to Lord Ram, and Lord showed you to, what you call Sara Shiromani Avatar, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I think. Yes, many of us were worshipping Durga, Shiva. Actually, because we were, what you call, worshipping with that pure faith, and somewhere we prayed, like that Narsingh Mehta who asked, please show me, please give me the best what you have. So what happened? Shiva disappeared and Lord Vishnu appeared there. In Gujarat it happened. This past time happened. Shiva disappeared and this one. Amazing thing. I was shocked with this, past time that I heard. Chandi Das in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Heard of? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to listen the songs of Chandi Das. It comes. Billo Mangal Thakur, Chandi Das. These two were the people's songs Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to hear. Where? In Gambira. Heard of Chandi Das and this one? You see the name of this devotee? What is the name? Chandi Das. Devotee of Ma Chandi. How come he became, devotee? You know what happened? This Chandi Das was worshipper of Ma Chandi. Ma Chandi in Bengal. And what happened? This Chandi Das brother was a Vaishnav. He was a Vaishnav. So who is more powerful usually in the house? Worshipper of Chandi or Vaishnav? Chandi, Chandi Das. So Chandi Das was elder brother. So this Chandi Das, was daily bringing hundreds and hundreds of fragrant flowers from his garden and offering it to Ma Chandi. Ma Chandi, and singing, worshipping everyone. And this Chandidas never liked his brother, who was a Vaishnav, who was worshipping, Vishnu. So this brother of Chandidas had a Shaligrama Shila. So, this Chandidas used to scold him, why you're wasting your time worshipping, Lord Vishnu, worship Ma Chandi. She is the Shaktiman, all that Shaktites, what you call worshippers of, Shakti. So then what happened? One day, suddenly, what had happened was Ma Chandi came in the dream of Chandidas. Ma Chandi came in the dream of Chandidas and said, you rascal, you fool, why you're wasting your time worshipping me? Rather than worshipping me, worship the devotee who is worshipping Lord Vishnu. Go and worship him. So, suddenly this Chandidas gets up and thinks, Arey, how come, so many years I'm worshipping Ma Chandi. Never she came in my dream. Suddenly now she is coming in the dream and telling me, scolding me to go and worship Lord Vishnu. What have I done? Such a thing that Ma Chandi is coming in my dream. So that he was curious, what had made Ma Chandi to appear in my dream, that she's coming and telling me to go and worship. And you know what had happened? This devotee, unknowing to his brother, had taken one flower. He had taken one flower, that flowers, whatever that group of flowers were there, which he used to worship to Ma Chandi, this Chandidas. So he had taken one flower in that, mentally, not even physically, mentally. Mentally, he had taken one flower and offered it to Lord Vishnu, telling, "These flowers are so nice. How it would be so nice if it would be worshipped, too." So mentally, he had taken one flower and he had offered to his Shaligramashila. And that flower, when it was offered to Ma Chandi, where in the mind, mentally, when it is offered, it has now become prasad. It has become prasad. And that flower was offered to Ma Chandi. And Ma Chandi became so happy that I have got prasad, that I have got flower which is offered to Shaligramashila. She becomes so happy, and because of that, she came in the dream of this Chandidas and said, "Go and take shelter of." He was there, and when he heard, next day when Ma Chandi again came in the dream, he asked, "Ma Chandi, can you please tell what have I done that you are appearing to me?" So then Ma Chandi tells, "Your brother offered a flower to Lord Vishnu, and that flower I got through you. That's why I am very, very, pleased with you. And especially I am very, very pleased with your brother. So please go and take shelter." And then Chandidas comes and falls at the feet of the devotee and thanks for him. For what? Mentally offering flower, which was taken. So, so if you find any people around you, worshipping devatas, and sometimes, what you call in your marriage, or what you call in certain god worships and all. So before the things being offered to devatas, in the mind you offer all that to the Supreme Lord and tell Ma Chandi or Ma, Ganesh, whoever is there, please accept it as prasad and help me to become a better devotee, and help all these people also to become devotee by taking that prasad. So we can pray like that, correct? Na? So this Chandidas became such a great devotee, such a great devotee. He ran to Vrindavan actually, and he wrote thousands and thousands of bhajans glorifying the activities of Radha and Krishna actually. Radha and Krishna. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu worshipped him. So this is, the consciousness in which we worship the devatas. When we go to, Lord Shiva, my God, we should understand, he's the greatest of the great. We can spend 4 or 5 hours just discussing in Vrindavan. We have Ashishwar Mahadev, we have Gokuleshwar, we have, Nanda in Nandagaon, Nandeshwar, we have Chakleshwar, all, 7 Lord Shiva, just discussing pastimes. We can immerse how, Lord Shiva is such a worshipper of Lord Krishna. And what you call is, when we go, or when we just pass through the temple, when we see Shivalinga, we can pray, Lord Shiva, how much you have that love towards Lord Krishna. Can you please, bestow a drop of that pure worship that you have in our heart upon me, so that I can also worship you. If you read the Bhagavatam 3rd canto prayers, Rudra Gita, so beautifully is explaining the beauty of Lord Krishna. Neela, you are blue in this one. You were dressed like this. So very wonderful, beautiful. Even this verse, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattam Varaname is given by Lord Shiva to Mother Parvati. So what you call is, so this we can understand from this. So does he ask for material benefits? Who? The asking for material, but not a sign of a pure devotee. For the living entity who desires to return to Godhead, it is impediments. So the Lord doesn't award material benefits to pure devotee as desired by less intelligent people. Can material and Krishna worship go together? One who worships the Supreme Lord and at the same time has material desire is contradictory in it. So what the Lord does, he purifies the heart without knowing to the worshipper. Silently in the background, purifies the desire of the worshipper, and then he gives the reward. like our Dhruva Maharaj. He did to the many people, whoever approaches Krishna, he does that. Then less intelligent people go to the what you call is demigods. So therefore, person who is having lust, wants something else which is harmful, they do not go to Lord Vishnu because they know that's going to take time. Yes. Very important. So this is the result of worshipping devatas. Please repeat. Antavantu phalam tesha
Antavattu phalam tesham
tadbhavati alpamedasam
Tadbhavati
tadbhavatyalpamedasam
Vedasam
devan devayajo yanti
Devan
devan devayajo
Devayajanti
yanti
madbhakta yanti mamapi.
madbhakta yanti mamapi.
See, antavantu phalam tesham. Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpamedasam. So alpamedasa, those who are worshipping devatas, understanding them as the supreme are alpamedasa. The next devam deva yajo yanti. So those who worship devatas, they go where? They go to the place where devatas reside. But whereas those who worship me, madbhakta yanti mamapi. See, all of us want in our life those things which can sustain for longer time. Like if you get to know, if you purchase a mobile, like say you purchase Redmi mobile, which is going to run only for 1 week. Will you invest 10,000 rupees in that? Will you invest 10,000 rupees in that? No, you'll not. If if you make this mobile to fall, from 1 meter up, it's going to break the glass. Will you purchase that? No. But if you get to know, there is waterproof mobile. There is, stress resistant mobile. You get to know that there is 20,000 uh, milliampere mAh power mobile. You get to know if you charge once, it will stay for whole life. You don't have to charge again. Only once you have to do charging. That's it. You don't have to charge whole life in the next life also. Huh? If you get to know, some mobile has come like that. You just keep it in the sunlight. In sunlight only it gets charged. You don't have to separately look for the things. So will you go for that option or not, Prabhus? If you get to know some extra advanced features have come in the mobile, will you go for that or not? Obviously, we'll go for the better option, right? So similarly, already if you're worshipping some devata, instead of that, if you worship Krishna and understand the right position of these devatas, so why don't we worship? So if you worship Krishna, huh, the result is amazing. It is unlimited. It is eternal. It is wonderful. You'll be completely situated in Sachitananda. You don't have to come back to this material world. So all these things Krishna is telling. So why don't we worship Lord Krishna? So that's why Krishna is telling Yanti. He's telling here Mad Bhakta Yanti Mamapi. So see here, demigods are part and parcels, living entities also part and parcels. So this is the if we worship the Supreme Lord here, if we worship the Supreme Lord here, we'll get eternal benefits. So devotional service to the Supreme Lord, His favor and His mercy are unlimited. So this verse refutes the worship of demigod can take one to the Supreme Lord, right? Some people tell that since everything, the devatas are also part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, if you worship them also, still will reach the same goal. No, it is different. If you worship the Supreme Lord, we'll go to the Supreme. If you worship devatas, we'll go to the devatas, which is temporary. So worship of demigods lead to their respective planets. Leads to the respective planets. Yes. See here, demigod worshippers. We discussed the nature, the mental and attitude, the action that they do, the result that they get, and what is the philosophy that is involved. So next is impersonalist purpose. So impersonalist, all of us have discussed good amount of this one. So what you call is regarding impersonalist, Krishna speaks two important verses. So the philosophy of impersonalist is they consider the Brahman as the supreme, impersonal Brahman as the supreme, and all the pastimes and the form that Krishna does are temporary manifestations of the Brahman. So it is a special Brahman among that Brahma Jyoti comes to this earth and takes the form of Krishna and Ram and does some extraordinary leelas. This is Mayavad philosophy. Mayavad philosophy. So they think of Krishna as ordinary human, son of Vasudeva and Devaki, or powerful living entity. They think like that. So they lack the knowledge that Krishna is imperishable. He is the supreme. He is unborn and infallible. Krishna knows Vedaham Samatitani Vartamanani Charjana. They don't know that Krishna knows past, present, and future. See here? Is Krishna unjust to provide different results? No. Krishna, it is logical. Why? Because a person attains what he worships. So worshipper of the sun achieves what he wants. So these all things are discussed. What you call is regarding the impersonation worship. We'll go to the next slide. Yeah. See here, Krishna is telling you. So though for these two kinds of people who impersonalists, so impersonalists, these two verses are also, what you call is there here. Yeah, please repeat this verse. Avyaktam vyaktimapanna manyate mam abuddhaya param bhavam majananto mamavyayam anuttamam. Yeah, can somebody read the above connection rules? What to speak of the, please read.
What to speak of the worship? Can you remove that project? What to speak of the worshippers of the Devata being foolish and not recognizing me? Even those who study all the scriptures, such as the Vedas, do not know the truth about me. Next answer, bro.
Sridhar Swami. Yeah, Sridhar Swami.
If the labor is the same in both kinds of worship, but results are different, then why don't people worship you alone, giving up other gods?
Yeah, so that's why Krishna is saying unintelligent man. Yeah, sir, can somebody read this one? Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly.
Who do not. Suji, can you remove that term? Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of God Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme.
Yeah, so see here Krishna is saying Mama Avyayam Anuttamam. So I am Uttama, supreme. They don't know. Avyaya, Mama Avyaya. That also they don't know. Param Bhavam Ajananto. They don't know that I am the supreme. What you call is what you call is that higher nature of the supreme Lord. Ajananto. These people they don't know. Avyaktam Vyaktim Apanna. So for these people, I only cover them. This impersonalist and Devata worship, it is me who covers them, I make sure that they don't get to know about me. So these people are abuddhaya. Abuddhaya. So see here, impersonalists are unintelligent, do not know higher nature of Lord Krishna, which is imperishable and supreme. So the characteristics of impersonalist is given here, Prabhus. So you can go through that. Because no knowledge of ultimate feature, that is Bhagavan, they only stuck in Brahma Jyoti. So here, understanding Lord Krishna could be done only by devotional service, which begins with chanting and not by mental speculation or by discussing Vedic literature. You may that verse, Atha Bahuna, there is a verse that, one cannot understand me by reading many scriptures or thing and all those that. So because of, by understanding Lord Krishna, they get unlimited bliss and auspicious qualities. So I'll just go bit of faster this, Prabhus. So see here, what you call is, I said about Sakama Bhaktas initially. So now Krishna is also going to tell how another category of Sakama Bhakta attains Krishna. See, Nishkama Karma Yogi develops detachment from matter. right? Jnana Yogi, what you call is the realizes soul. Actually, I have to show this from Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu. Otherwise, understanding this becomes a bit tough. I'll come to this, Prabhu. What you call is, we'll go to Bhagavad Gita. That is the best. So I'll just cover this section. Last one more section is left that I'll cover another class. So see here, we are where? 23. So after Krishna spoke this, he spoke that how even the people who are completely impersonalistic, they cannot even attain me also. Yeah. So see here, yeah, this is the proper connection, Rose. So see here in 25, very very important verse. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrita mudo yamna bijhananti loko mam ajam avyayam. So naham prakasha sarvasva. So these people, I cover them. Yeah, please read this. I am never manifest.
Are never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by material eternal potency, and therefore they do not
My
know
my
what,
internal my internal potency.
and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and inexhaustible.
Exhaustible. Yeah. So this is the result.
It may be
of yes. So after telling the state of these two people, demigod worshippers and impersonalists, Krishna is telling how he reciprocates with them. Correct? How he reciprocates? Naham prakasha sarvasva yoga maya sama. I cover them. I cover them. They cannot get to know me, know my real identity. It's a offense to tell to the Lord that you are an living entity. You take the form in this material world. So they don't know that Lord is Ajam. They don't know that Lord is Param Brahma. They don't know that Lord is Avyayam. They don't know that Lord is Uttamam. So why they're not able to do? Because Krishna covers them. Krishna covers them. So that's why Krishna is telling in this section that that kind of surrender is unintelligent. That should not be done. Rather, we should worship Krishna. So why to worship Krishna? He clears, in this particular verse, because Krishna is one who is supreme and he knows past, present, and future. He is the essence of all the scriptures. So this is the verse that talks about this. So see here, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. Yeah, please read. Who has not read?
O Arjuna, as the
Please read, Prabhu.
supreme personality of Godhead, Prabhu, that portion is coming.
Yeah.
So it's still. O Arjuna, as the supreme personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows.
Yeah. So this is the position of Lord Krishna. Completely different from Devatas. Devatas do not know what is our past, what is going to happen in the future. They just give and run away from there. But they don't think about the consequences that will come from giving the benedictions and all. But Krishna is the most well-wisher, benefactor of all of us when we approach him, because he knows what we were in the past, what I have done in the past. He knows what is going to happen in the future by doing what now. Correct, na? So he knows about us everything. In the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we have discussed about this. There is a verse there. What is that verse? I forgot that verse. Aja. He knows everything. What you call is he's unborn. That one particular verse is there in 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which talks about the glory or the position that Lord Krishna is in, right? Even in the 4th chapter, when Arjuna tells, I mean, how come you're telling, you know me, in the past, you spoke this knowledge in the Surya Loka and all that, but I see, we both have taken birth equal. No, Krishna tells, Ajopyasan Avyayatma, right? You may know that verse, right? Ajopyasan Avyayatma. What is the verse?
Ajopi
Anybody
san
knows the verse?
avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san. Fourth
So
chapter.
that verse stands, clarifies the position. And similarly here in again 7th chapter, Krishna is clarifying. So Krishna knows our past, present, and future. Say for example, a doctor is there. Doctor knows our past records. I have got a disease, and there is a doctor who knows about my disease in the past. Now, when I go to the doctor, based on seeing the disease that I have got in the past, she can cure my disease better than going to a doctor who doesn't know about me fully. Correct, na? So when we approach Krishna, Krishna knows the best what is required. Like for example, even Gajendra himself did not know who he was in the past life, but Lord Krishna knew. When Muchukunda was sleeping in the cave, not knowing, what he was in the past, he knew what he was, but when Krishna came, he could not recognize what Krishna was. But Krishna, actually, he had slept so much, he had forgotten, completely about himself. But Krishna came and reminded him, you remember you worshipped me in the past. He had worshipped me in the past. And Krishna, though Muchukunda had forgotten Krishna, but Krishna reminded Muchukunda who the Lord was, and gave the benediction, gave the blessings. This is the only, what you call, is the power that Krishna holds, and no one holds in this whole world actually, right? We see Krishna doing this in many places, that even though the devotees don't remember how they have worshipped, like for example Prahlad Maharaj, you may know, he just sweeped the temple of Lord Vishnu in the past, and Krishna made him Prahlad Maharaj in the next, right? So this, I know, adjustments only Krishna can do, nobody else can do. So that's why the best thing is to worship Krishna, because knowing our past will be able to help us to go in the future, to go back to Godhead. So many times we are crippled, in our lives, that is there any person who knows what is my past? See, one thing is to have friends in this life who know in this life what I have done, what I have done. But even we ourselves are ignorant what we have done in our past life. What we have done in our past life. It is only Lord Krishna who knows what we were, how we were, what all we have done. He knows very best. Correct, na? So even if say we have to ask forgiveness from the Lord, we can only ask the Lord to forgive us for the mistakes that we have done in this life. In this life. But we don't know what all things we have done in the past. But when we pray to Krishna, Krishna, please forgive me for all that I have done in this life and in the past lives, and help me. So that's why it comes, the verse comes. Sanchintayed Bhagavatascharanāravindam. Sanchintayed Bhagavatascharanāravindam. Vajrankushadvacha Sarorihalanchanadyam. Uttungarakta Vilasan Nakachakravala. Josnabirahata Mahato Rudayandakaram. So Rudaya Andakaram. The darkness that is there in the heart of the living entity from millions and millions of life accumulated. All that is destroyed completely just by taking darshan of the nails of the lotus feet of the Lord. Not the lotus feet of the Lord. Just by taking darshan of the nails of the lotus feet of the Lord, all that Hridayandakar is destroyed. This nobody can bestow. This fortune, no, you may take darshan of the nails of the devatas for many days or years, but the Hridaya Andakar will not go. They'll just give you chocolates and will push off. But But real benefactor is Krishna. So that's why Krishna tells in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a verse written by Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. He tells that when a person worships Krishna, even unknowingly, Krishna cheats that person. You know how? Krishna cheats that person by giving him the taste of the nectar of honey flowing from his feet. Krishna puts some drops of nectar of honey of his lotus feet in the mouth of that worshipper, even if he does not know what benefits he is going to get. Then what happens is slowly, by drinking the drops of honey, the person becomes addicted to the lotus feet of the Lord. Whatever circumstance happens, that person will remember the taste of that nectar that he had drunk once by drinking that honey. So then what happens is, person forgets the desire that he has come and just hankers to drink the honey for he has approached the Lord. So he came for fulfilling the material desires, but he forgets the material desire and starts hankering after the honey, sweet honey that is flowing from the Krishna. So Krishna tells, like this I will cheat the person and make him into a pure devotee, by which only able to go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise not. So this is the best, what you call is the cheating business that the Lord Krishna does with the devotees. So it is good that we are worshipping Lord Krishna. So Krishna is beating all the sides possible to convince us to surrender or to take shelter of Krishna only and nothing else. So this is the what you call the trick, or this is how the Lord does to convince all of us that surrender unto me only and nothing else. We'll read another few shlokas, Prabhus. So another 4 verses are there. If devotees are having some patience, I'll complete it off. I'll just read the translations and we will read. Maybe we will discuss in the next class, first 10-15 minutes with that, and we'll continue. We'll start with the 8th chapter, Prabhus. Is that okay? I'll take another 10 minutes extra.
Yes,
बहुत
sir.
पेंडिंग है प्रभु, लास्ट क्लासेस का बहुत पेंडिंग है टाइम. I think at least there is 4-5 hours at a stretch. What you call is, I don't know how to recover that. Hopefully I'll take this 10-15 minutes and cover it up. Yeah. Oh God, very tough. So we'll just read the verses, translations, and we'll go ahead. Namesake will complete, Rose. We'll discuss 8th chapter with all this philosophy. We'll discuss first 15-20 minutes in the next class and start with the 8th chapter. Please recite this verse. Very, very important verse. Ichha dvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. So Prabhu's new section is starting here, where Krishna is saying what makes the jiva to get trapped in this world. How the jiva gets bewildered in this material world. What happens to him by which he becomes bound in this material world, and how to come out of it. So these two things. Anybody has Gita Subodhini? Anybody has Gita Subodhini with you right now in your hand? Can you read the section? What is given there for this 27 onwards? Delusion by Maya, and can somebody read out what is given there? Delusion by Maya,
From
and
delusion by Maya to devotion to Krishna.
From delusion by Maya to devotion to Krishna is the heading of this section. How Maya puts us into delusion, how to come out of it. From delusion by Maya to devotion to Krishna. O scion of Bharata, O scion of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by duality, arisen from desire and hate. So what binds Jiva in this material world is Ichha and Dvesha. Desire and hate produces delusion or bewilderment. Yes. How to get out of this delusion? How to get out of this Icha and Dvesha? Three things has to be done. Please repeat this verse. Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva nirmukta bhajante mam didavrata. Three things. First one is antagatam papam, become free from sinful activities. Krishna Maya, go to devotion to Krishna. First thing, stop sinful activities. Esham to antagatam papam. Jananam punya karmanam. Start doing devotional bhakti practices. Then third, dvandva moha nirmukta. You'll become free from the dualities of this material world. You'll become free from the dualities of the material modes. Huh? Lower birth, higher birth, man, woman, honor, dishonor, all these bandhas you'll become free from. Only then you will attain vrata. You'll attain Dridavrata. Bhajante mam Dridavrata. Do the three things, you'll become Dridavrata. Stop sinful activities, start doing bhakti activities, and start understanding reality and become free from that. Then you'll attain Dridavrata. See here. Somebody please read this, Prabhus. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and freed from the dualities of devotion, they engage themselves in my service with determination. Yes. See here, the fifth moksha, Sakam Bhakta is mentioned, Sakama devotee is mentioned here. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation, he's called as Sakama Moksha, or what you call is called as uh, we call him as Mokshakami. We call him as Mokshakami. What is the word used in Subodhini Prabhus? See here for verse number 29. What is the word given there?
Mokshakami Bhakta.
Mokshakami Bhakta is called as one who is desiring to merge into the Brahman. So this gives rise to 8th chapter. So see here, intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about devotional activities, huh? Endeavoring for liberation. So they also take shelter of me. So I'll discuss about this in the next. Now this question, 30th verse, will give rise to 8th chapter. See here. Sadi bhutadi daivam mam sadyanjam chaye vidhu prayana kale apichamam te vidur yukta chetasa. Those in full consciousness of me who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigods and of all the methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death. So here, Krishna is revealing very, very important concept or the understanding that he is the source of Adi Bhuta. He is the source of Adi Daiva. He is the source of Adi Yajna. Three things. Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, Adi Yajna. He is also the source here. Sacrifice can understand me and know me. And Krishna is also tell that, the Kala. The Kala. So this gives question in the mind of Arjuna. What do you mean by Adi Bhuta? What do you mean by Adi Daiva? What do you mean by Adi Yajna? Can someone read Gita Subodhini Prabhu? What is given here? 7.30. Can you read that?
Those who know me as Adibhuta, governing principle of material manifestation, Adidaiva, controller of Devatas, and Adi Yagya, the lord of sacrifices, and are in full consciousness of me, can understand me even at the time of death, Prayana Kale.
This 3 is very, very important. Whole second canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam is this only, Prabhu. Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, Adi Yajna. So Adi Bhuta is the material manifestation, the gross material manifestation. Our eyes, just to give an example, I'll just give example, we'll discuss more there. See this eyes. So this eyes is Adi Bhuta. Adi Bhuta. What is the Adi Bhuta given there, Prabhu? Gross. Can you read, Prashant, Prabhu?
It is mentioned governing principle of material manifestation.
Yeah, governing principle. So this Adi Bhuta means what you call is two. Actually, there are two Adi Bhutas. So one Adi Bhuta is the gross manifestation, eyes. Adi Daiva. See, one eyes is here. One more eyes is actually in the mind. And this both work because the universal form has got the eyes. So this whole connection is called as Adi Bhuta. So that we'll discuss next class. The next one is Adi Daiva. Adi Daiva means there is a demigod who is controlling this functioning of the eyes. Who controls the vision of the eyes?
Suryadev.
Suryadev, the sun god. He is called as Adi Daiva. And Adi Yajna. Adi Yajna. What is the Adi Yajna given there in the bracket, Prabhu? Subodhini?
Lord of sacrifices, Prabhu.
The sacrifices. So what you call is the person who makes the Adi Daiva, Adi Bhuta, Adi Yajna. See, for even Adi Yajna, we tell in the universal form, the eyes of the Lord, or what you call is uh, uh, there is another. I mean, there is a tabular column in the second canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam which explains this very clearly. So this we'll study in the next class. So that tabular column, when you see, it becomes very clear, what is Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, Adi Yajna. So that we'll discuss in the next class. Is it okay? Is it okay? I mean, Adi Yajna means it's Supreme Lord only, but there is a expansion of the Supreme Lord to control the particular Devata for the particular function. Particular function. Like for the mind, there is a moon god. And for the moon god, Pradyumna. You heard, right? Pradyumna. So that Pradyumna is the one who is, if I have to pray for curing the mind problems, we pray to Supreme Lord Vishnu in the form of Pradyumna. If we worship Surya Dev, there is Surya Narayana who is there in the Surya, kingdom, whom Surya worships, who is an expansion of Lord Vishnu. He is Adi Yajna. So these are a bit technical terms. That's why because of which people they don't want to read. I mean, very tough to read second canto. How many of you read second canto? I mean, I don't know how many of you read second canto. How many of you read second canto? Anybody here who has read second canto, or at least heard that second canto is a bit tough? Something like that you might have heard of. So it's not an easy subject matter. But Krishna is explaining it here only in the 8th canto. I don't know how many wickets are going to fall when we discuss Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, Adi Yajna. But one thing I can tell you, if you understand this clearly, it will bring appreciation to Lord Krishna. That's why Krishna is clearing up these concepts in 7th and 8th chapter to reach 9th chapter. So 9th chapter is very, very tasty, sweet nectar, honey flowing, from the Lord, explaining about bhakti, explaining about Shrimati Radharani, explaining about internal energy, explaining about pure devotees. So before reaching that, you have to cross. How before reaching 10th canto, you have to cross first canto, second canto, third canto, ninth canto, fifth canto. So like that, before reaching ninth chapter Bhagavad Gita, you have to clear these two concepts. So the 7th chapter Bhagavad Gita is telling us the supreme position of worshipping Lord Krishna, and 8th chapter is going to tell us how the Lord is the supreme, what you call is the controller of all these three aspects. That we'll discuss in the next class. So I'll stop it here. It's already 9:50. If you are not able to understand some of these things, you can always what you call is ask questions, Prabhus. Yes, I mean what you call is it's not easy. I think we have some tough time in asking questions. But my request is whenever you have questions, please put it in the chat box. as early as possible whenever you get questions, because I keep the questions, and usually I start the class with the questions, because at the end sometimes it becomes tough in the course of completing the course. But still, now any devotees have any questions? I hope things are clear, Prabhus. Impersonalism, I'll speak maybe in the future, somewhere it comes up, or it will come more clearly in Ishopanishad, when it comes, the verse comes that what is that verse? You know, that I'm covered, I'm illuminating. There it comes. There it will be cleared more. But here, let us proceed a bit faster. Yeah. Any questions, Prabhus? Devotees have? Yashas Prabhu asked a question. Jignasu means inquisitive. So is it about spirituality, or is there something beyond that these people are inquisitive? See, usually these people are inquisitive to solve the problems of their life. They have inquisitiveness to understand how to get out of problems of life, how to get out of uh, how to remain happy. These kind of questions they have. How this material world works, why there is suffering in this world, who avoids, you understand? Those kinds of questions they have, which leads to uh, which leads to spiritual knowledge. Okay, that kind of questions.
And Jnani is
So
he
we
knows
all
already, or Jnani knows already about Supreme Lord, etc., or is he also searching for spirituality? Jnani.
see in the steps when they are there, they are more of themselves in the center. But gradually they start understanding Brahma Jyoti, Paramatma. So there is a ladder for a Gnani also to grow, bro. It's not just when I tell a Gnani, we can just limit it to this one. See, even in Bhagavad Gita, if you see, in third chapter or in the fourth chapter, in the fifth chapter, when Krishna is telling Gnani, it is relating to the gradual elevation of Gnani that is happening over there. You understand? So Gnani means we have to see in which circumstance it is used, and it applies to that.
Okay, Prajay.
There are some technical terms for Gnanis also. Like, I'll just tell an example. There is something called Bhuta Guna Bhakti, there is something called Pradhana Guna Bhakti, and there is something called Kevala Bhakti. Heard of these things?
Yes, bro.
So in Gunabhuta Bhakti, or we can tell Gunabhuta Jnana Mishra Bhakti or Bhakta, this fellow uses Bhakti as a tool to advance in his Jnana. Right? This fellow uses Jnana as a this fellow uses Bhakti as a tool to advance in Jnana. There is Pradhana Bhakti. So in that Pradhana Bhakti, what happens? Pradhana Guna Bhakti, person becomes a devotee, where in the initially he was a speculative, but gradually he grows and becomes and approaches Krishna. He becomes a devotee gradually. And Kevala Bhakti, Jnani becomes a pure devotee. So like this, categories are there. So it has to be seen with respect to. So here Jnani means in the initial level, where he has some questions, inquisitive. We also see some boys asking questions. Why do we suffer? That kind of category, this Jnani which is used. Okay?
Thank you, bro.
Yes, bro. Any other questions, Prabhus? Any other questions? Haribol, Hare Krishna, Arvind Prabhu. Arvind Prabhu stuck, huh? No, is there? Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, bro.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.